Happy Friday, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Life Above the Clouds. My name is Lauren Gaw, and Derek is busy, so today you're just stuck with me. I'm very, very sorry. But this week, we are making some oatmeal raisin cookies. And I feel like oatmeal raisin cookies are one of those, you either love oatmeal raisin cookies or you hate oatmeal raisin cookies. There's no in between, except for me. Because oddly enough, if there is an assorted platter of cookies, oatmeal raisin is probably the last one that I'm going to reach for. You know, like chocolate chip goes first, and then like the chocolate one with the white chocolate chips, and then like, actually I hate white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. That would be the last one that I reach for. But oatmeal raisin cookies are just like so-so in the middle for me. But recently when I did my Bakers Against Racism bake sale, I was only offering chocolate chip cookies and brownie cookies, but one of my friends asked if I would make a special batch of oatmeal raisin cookies because they were her husband's favorite cookie. And so, you know, sure, why not? If they're donating to my cause, I didn't mind making special oatmeal raisin cookies. But I actually loved them. You know, I had to try them before I give them away to somebody, and they were so good. So I wanted to share that recipe with you guys. And now that we have started, I just realized that I forgot my butter on the counter, so I'm gonna go run and get it. But I do already have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and a little secret, I already have cookies in there. Don't tell anyone. Okay, I'm back with butter. I was actually just trying to make sure that it was softened enough for today because I took the butter out of the freezer this morning. But let's go over our ingredients. Let's see. Gotta make sure the picture-in-picture is in here so you guys can see me. And I want to make sure that you guys can see the ingredients. Well, you know what? It's fine. And guys, I also forgot my recipe that I wrote down, so I have to go get that too. Oh. Okay. Sometimes I think I have it memorized, but I don't want to misspeak. Is that correct? It happens all the time. I say things that I don't even know what I'm saying. But anyway, today, guys, we are going to make 12 cookies. My original recipe made 24 cookies, but because Derek is one of those do not like oatmeal raisin cookies kind of people, I didn't want to have a whole bunch of oatmeal raisin cookies on hand because we also have not finished our strawberry cheesecake truffles, and I had to throw out my peach cobbler because we didn't finish that either. And we've also been eating way too much, you know, it's just too much eating, not enough exercising, you know how it is. Anyway, so let's go over our ingredients. Right here, this that I ran and got, this is half a cup of butter total because we're making 12 cookies. I am substituting 1 tablespoon of cannabis butter. And Ramelite says nice bowls, thank you. These are actually like silicone, I think. I don't know, my mom gave them to me and they're little measuring bowls. So I like them. They're also dishwasher safe and microwavable. They're pretty great. Anyway, you guys distract me too much. I get sidetracked. Okay, let's keep going. Right here, this is oats. This is 1.5 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats. You don't want to use the instant oatmeal because these, you can tell, like, they're larger in texture. It's gonna give your cookies a nice chewy texture. Anyway, this is 3/4 cups of flour. I also have half a cup of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of regular granulated sugar. Half a cup of raisins. This is 1/2 tablespoon of vanilla extract. 1 egg. 1/2 tablespoon of molasses. This is what's gonna give these oatmeal cookies this nice, warm, rich flavor, as well as the cinnamon that I have in here. How much cinnamon is this? This is 3/4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. I also have 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda in here. So, Ramelite, yes, you need to get some. They make life so much easier. I think they're made by Wilton, and I honestly don't know if they still make them, but I'm sure you can find something very similar. So always the first thing that we do is whisk together our dry ingredients. So I have a medium-sized mixing bowl here. Let me push this stuff to the side. Here we go. Is this good? You guys can see. I have my whisk, and we are going to add together our flour and our baking soda, salt, and cinnamon. We're gonna save the oats for later. I'm just gonna whisk this together, make sure it's well combined, there's no big lumps, and then we're gonna set that aside. And then in my larger bowl, we are going to beat together our butters and our sugars. Let me make sure you guys can see that. And then let me make sure that I can see more of the chat. All right. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna beat together both my butters and sugars. You want these to be softened at room temperature. Like I said, my regular butter is still a little bit hard, so I'm gonna have to beat that extra. I am going to also beat that with my sugars. I have my hand mixer here, but of course, you can always use a stand mixer if you have one. If not, I always feel like this little hand mixer gets the job done. I bought it on Black Friday. It was on sale for like $19.99. Totally worth it. Because can you imagine having to do this by hand? Ooh. David says, there you go. Where did I go? Jerry, hi Jerry. Happy Friday, guys. Yeah, it's Friday. I always kind of get surprised when Friday rolls around because honestly, with all the stuff going on and, you know, quarantining, I forget what day it is. I don't know how you guys are handling things out there, but it sounds like they're gonna have to shut things down again, which I know is frustrating, but I think I mentioned this last week. My aunt actually tested positive for COVID, so it's real. People are getting it, and she thankfully was asymptomatic, but that's not always the case for everyone, and we know that. So it's real. Wear your mask. Try to stay home. You know, do your part. I don't know. I know it's really, really hard, and I feel like it's not like some days are better than others. It's like one day is full of this roller coaster of emotions where I like wake up in the morning and I'm like, today is an awesome day. I'm really stoked. I'm gonna get all this stuff done, like, you know, and then 30 minutes later, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the worst day ever. I just want to crawl into bed and watch Netflix all day. So, I get it. Times are tough, but I am so happy that we get to do this Friday live stream together because cooking is actually one of the things that, you know, helps me relieve stress and makes me happy. So the fact that I also get to share it with you guys also makes me really happy. And the fact that you guys are saying awesome things like keep it up, thank you David, and Ramelite KitchenAid is the best. Yes, I actually do have a KitchenAid stand mixer. This is KitchenAid too. And this is red because my KitchenAid stand mixer is also red and I wanted them to match, obviously. But I like using this because I can use a glass bowl so you guys can see what's going on in my bowl. I do also have another brand of mixer that shall remain unnamed because, to be honest, I don't love it that much. It's not as good as my KitchenAid mixer. The KitchenAid really is the best one. Okay, now that I have my butters and my sugars whipped up, it's nice and smooth, I'm going to add my egg. I already got it on the table and I forgot to bring a towel. And I'm just going to mix that in a little bit. And then I'm also gonna add in my vanilla extract. And then I'm also going to add in my molasses. I think I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. I'm gonna need to scrape my little measuring cup here because it's not gonna come out. Molasses is one of those like sleeper ingredients, I feel like, because every year I always love making molasses cookies. It's one of those things that I love to make for the holidays, but you forget that it's great year-round. I don't know, it's the middle of summer and we're making oatmeal raisin cookies, and that's not like a typical winter recipe, is it? Ramolite, thank you. Keep it up. You have a great personality. You guys are so sweet, and I love you guys, and you definitely help make these tough times easier. So now I'm going to add in my flour mixture. This is so easy. And then we get to eat wonderful cookies after this. Oh my gosh, I'm making a mess so badly. I always make fun of my special guests when they come on for making a mess, but then here I am just like getting flour all over the place. Okay, and now I'm also going to add in my oats and my raisins. Wait, I have to make sure things are centered. I'm like slightly OCD, so when they're not centered, it gives me anxiety. Anyway, a little fun fact about me. So here's my oats and my raisins. I actually also, if you notice, like sometimes when you get raisins out of the box, they're kind of stuck together. So you do want to kind of break those apart. Unless you love big clumpy raisins, but I do not. So using the mixer on low speed, we're just going to combine everything. Now if you aren't on the oatmeal raisin train, you could also substitute the raisins in this recipe for chocolate chips. And oatmeal chocolate chip cookies are awesome. Okay, I'm going to get that off my beaters, and then I'm going to use my spatula to scrape the sides of the bowl and finish combining everything. And there we have our dough. Guys, our cookie dough is already ready. Now, we do have to do the necessary step of chilling our dough. This is one of those steps that I always feel is really stupid and I always want to skip it. But I've tried it, and for this one, you can't skip it. Sorry. So, there's my timer because I put a batch in the oven already, and I'm gonna go check on it really quick to see if it's done. Okay, we're a little ahead of schedule, so I'm not going to show these to you yet, but my cookies are done. And I guess we're not really ahead of schedule. What I was going to say is that you have to go put this bowl in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, or you can scoop them out onto, guys, this is my favorite, my silicone baking mats. I bought these at Costco. And just my 3 tablespoon scoop, because we like big fat cookies here. And you can either, let's see here, don't look at the mess over there, guys. So you can either chill the dough now in the bowl and then scoop it after it's done, or something that I like to do is scoop these out. You don't have to worry about spacing because we're not going to bake it on this mat. Yeah, go ahead and scoop these out and then put this in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Or you can put these in the freezer just like this, and then when they're hard enough, just take them with your hands and put them in a plastic resealable bag. Write what's in it, write the date, whatever you want, and then whenever you want a fresh cookie, 2 fresh cookies, you can just pull out what you want, put it on a baking tray, and either put that directly into the oven and cook it for a few extra minutes, or put it, let it thaw out for about 30 minutes, and then put it in the oven for 350 degrees for 12 to 14 minutes. So So just before we started this stream, I actually did have a batch and that I put into the oven. So in my head, I was like, this is gonna be perfect timing, and it was. So here are our finished cookies. I want you guys to see. It's really, really hot. Now, something that is important to me is a chewy cookie. I love chewy cookies. A thin and crispy cookie is good every once in a while, but general rule of thumb, I like the fat, chewy ones. So something for these oatmeal raisin cookies, you can see that the tops are still slightly shiny, and it may look underdone. In a lot of cases it is, but you want to err on the side of underdone because that's what's going to keep these cookies nice and chewy. So they are just getting slightly golden around the edges, and this is perfect. While they're cooling, this will set up and you're not going to have raw underdone dough. But if that's the case, eating raw cookie dough is also always delicious. I know that you're not supposed to do it because it's bad for you and you're not supposed to eat raw eggs and flour, so I'm not telling you that you should, but I'm telling you that I do it and I love it. So these cookies, you saw me just pulled them out of the oven. So you do want to let them cool for about 5 minutes or until you can take a spatula and carefully lift them off and then let them cool on a cooling rack. But because I hate waiting to eat things, I might just try and eat one now. Ramelite says they look delicious. Thank you, Ramelite. You can smell the cinnamon. Cinnamon is like, I also put cinnamon in my chocolate chip cookies. It kind of adds a little something special. But these cookies have both cinnamon and molasses, so it makes them so rich. And like I said before, they're so chewy and they just feel like grandma's house. Did your grandma make chocolate or make cookies for you? Mine did not. So in my the image that I'm actually getting is if you ever watch SpongeBob SquarePants and he goes to his grandma's house and she always makes him cookies. That's what I think grandmas are supposed to be like in my head. Anyway, the heat is like radiating from the tray, but I do want to try these. Let me see. Ooh, it's so hot. It's so hot. Maybe we'll wait. Maybe we'll hang out for a few minutes while they cool off. But what else has everyone been up to during your week? Have I done anything new this week? I don't think so. I feel like all the days kind of run into each other. But I did talk last week. Derek and I were going to West Elm for our date night because he asked me what I wanted to do, and that's what I said. They were having a 4th of July was last weekend. Oh my gosh. We didn't do anything special. We ate hot dogs because that's what I wanted to do to celebrate 4th of July, and we actually watched fireworks all over the city because even though all the official fireworks were canceled because they didn't want people to congregate, people, I guess, were illegally buying fireworks and just shooting them off all over the city. So it was kind of awesome to see. They were just everywhere. What else? Oh, I was talking about West Elm. We did go to West Elm for our date night, and we were actually really disappointed because we wanted to buy bedding, but they actually didn't have a lot of bedding selections there. They didn't really have any of the ones that we wanted, and so we were asked the service provider, the person working there, to help us, and she basically took us to the West Elm website to like order it for us. But it was basically just she was ordering it from the West Elm website, and we're like, we could do that at home. So we left, and then we ordered it from the West Elm website ourselves, and we ordered 2 duvets that were on sale. So we basically got 2 for the price of 1. I love a good deal. And we also bought some new sheets, but only 1 of the duvets has come. They were all supposed to come yesterday. 2 of them didn't make it. I'm a little disappointed, but I guess it's okay. I'm excited about our sheets because I don't know if you guys have heard about Tensile. I don't know how to say it. It's spelled Tencel. It is Oh, Ramble went to the casino. Hey, did you win anything? What do you like to play? I don't really know much about gambling, but I do love pressing the slot machine button and watching the lights flash. I have learned, like, I know how to play blackjack and poker and craps. Like, I know the rules, but that doesn't mean I'm any good at it. But I was talking about Tensile Bedding. It's made out of, like, bamboo fibers, and it's supposed to be moisture wicking and extra cooling, and it's summertime and it's really, really hot, so we were looking for bedding that was going to be not so hot. So next week, I'll let you guys know if it works. So I've been rattling on for at least 5 minutes to let our cookies cool. Whoa! Ramblite won $1,500 on Keno. I've heard of Keno. I've never played it. I know nothing about it, but congratulations. That's awesome. So on that note, guys, if you want to support my channel and, help chip in to buy some sugar or some flour, you can go check out my Patreon page. There is a link in the description section below, and you get access to the written recipe ahead of time and behind the scenes photos and more fun stuff. I've actually been thinking a lot about, so we're trying to create a studio for me in our little upstairs loft, and I do want to post like the process of putting that together. We're not very far yet, so you haven't missed anything. Hey Keeson, are you just joining us? Because we're kind of already done. That reminds me, I need to restart the camera because it cuts off on us. It stops recording after 30 minutes. So that's not good. But Keeson, welcome. We made oatmeal raisin cookies. I was going to say oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, but they're not. But you can substitute the raisins for chocolate chips if you wanted to. And, well, Keeson, you made it just in time because we're going to try it. Ooh, they are still nice and gooey. They're so gooey that, like, I can't even lift it off the sheet without it smushing. So you do want to carefully get a spatula and slide that off onto a cooling rack once these are cool enough to move without them falling apart. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I was able to get this chewy part off, and we're going to try a bite. Is there anything better than a warm cookie fresh out of the oven? Oh my God, that is an honest question. But it's so good. It's so warm, and it's so chewy, and the edges, I like to take them out when they're just starting to turn golden brown so they don't really get crispy. This is just an all-over chewy cookie. I didn't get... Oh, Keeson loves oatmeal raisin cookies. Keeson's on the yes, I love oatmeal raisin cookies. Nobody else has chimed in, so I feel like everyone else hates oatmeal raisin cookies. Keeson, I said in the beginning of the video that you're either on the team I love oatmeal raisin or I hate oatmeal raisin. There's no in between except me. Oatmeal raisin, I'm like, I don't love oatmeal raisin cookies, but I love cookies in general, so I guess that puts me on the I love team. They're so sweet and they're so warm. The molasses and the cinnamon make them just like spicy and rich. It gives such a nice rich flavor. It's so good. I want to keep eating it. Ramblite, yes, you can use all canna butter in the recipe if you want to. There are half a cup of canna butter, in my opinion, is a lot for 12 cookies, but it just depends how strong you want your cookies to be. I usually dose mine with 1 tablespoon of canna butter for 12 servings, which puts my cookies at about 2.5 milligrams each. So that is definitely on the mild side. I know people that want to have a lot stronger cookies because, everyone's tolerance is different. So you can substitute as much canna butter or as little canna butter as you like. There's just half a cup of butter total in this recipe. Does anyone else have any questions before we sign off? I guess that's it. I'm just going to keep eating this cookie. Don't mind me. It's so funny because Brazos is laying right here on the couch. He didn't even look up this whole time. I guess he's on the I Hate Oatmeal Raisin cookie team. But fun fact, is this a fun fact? Dogs aren't supposed to eat grapes or raisins. And I didn't know this. I never had a dog growing up. But one time, Brazos ate, you know when you buy like boxes of raisins and they come in like a 6-pack? He ate all of them. And then Derek freaked out because he had heard that dogs aren't supposed to have raisins. And I was just like, la, 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 la. We had to give him hydrogen peroxide to make him throw up. And then we took him to the emergency vet. And they put charcoal in his stomach to absorb the toxins because not all dogs, but some dogs can have a very, very terrible reaction where I think it shuts down their kidneys if they eat grapes or raisins. And so you don't really know if your dog can eat them or not. But I know for a fact that Brazos has eaten grapes and raisins since then, and he's fine, so yay! Ramelite, wish I had a cookie right now. Well, good thing for you. I just showed you how easy it was to make these cookies, so you can go make them yourself. And I wish that I could share them. I was actually talking with Derek about, because we always have so many baked goods around, because I'm testing recipes or I'm making the recipe on Friday's show. It's not good for us to be eating all of it. So I'm like, how can I set up a way that I can share my stuff with friends or people that live in the LA area? But still trying to figure out the details for that. Anyway, I guess that's it. I don't have anything else to say about the cookies except that they were delicious. I don't have anything else to say about how my week was because I can't remember anything interesting that I did. Oh, guys, this week's date night, guess where we're going? I'm not going to wait for the 30-second delay. I'm just going to give you a hint, or I'm just going to tell you that for this week's date night, I asked to go to Home Depot. So I guess you know where my heart lies. I like West Elm and Home Depot. What are we even getting at Home Depot? We're getting plywood. Ramlight, thank you. Have a great day. Yeah, guys, I guess we're going to sign off. Unless we'll wait for like 1 more minute or 2 more minutes. So we make it like an even 30 minutes. So really, really quickly right now, if anyone has any last minute questions about cookies or about life, go for it. And if not, I'm going to continue on and say, guys, thank you much. See, I don't know what I'm saying. I used to, for my Patreon family, I used to post the bloopers of when I would film the videos because I get wrapped up with my words all the time. But now that I do the live stream, you guys get to see everything. David Ford, hey David Ford, set up an Instagram and have a word with Koala Puss. She loves edibles. I don't know who Koala Puss is, but I will definitely have to look her up. Thank you for sharing. So where were we? Guys, thank you so much for joining me this week. We made oatmeal raisin cookies, and if you're on the I don't like oatmeal raisin cookies side, you can substitute them for chocolate chips. Sell your wares all over LA. Actually, David, people have suggested that I sell my edibles, and I've thought about it, but to sell baked goods, I think you need a license, and then to sell edibles, I think you need a license. So all of that seems too complicated and too much work, especially for the like 1 batch of cookies that I have per week. But thank you for the suggestion. I also love that people think that my stuff is good enough to sell. Most of the time I just like to give it away for free to friends and neighbors and all that stuff. But I did have a very successful Bakers Against Racism bake sale that I did a couple of weeks ago. I raised $450 for Justice LA, so that was really, really awesome. But anyway, we were signing off. You guys keep distracting me, and we made it past the 30-minute mark. But go subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up, share it with all of your friends, and In the description section, you will find links for my social media and for my Patreon page. I would love for your guys' support. And I was going to say something about my social media. Oh, who follows me on Instagram? Because I was really, really proud of my picture from yesterday that I posted. I had put my hair in a ponytail and like had my hair like in front of my face like this. And I took a selfie and I was like, I gave myself a haircut. And then I posted a second picture that was my hair down and says JK LOL. But I think I fooled a lot of people into thinking that I actually cut my hair. Well then, bye. Thank you, David Keeson. Yeah, go check out my Patreon. Go follow me on social media. Have a safe and happy week, and I will see you guys next Friday. Thanks again for watching. Mwah. This is that awkward moment where I press the button to go away. All right, bye guys.